Hello student, welcome back to social class. Last class we already started a new lesson, that is Christianity and Islam. In that we already completed a half part of Christianity. There we learned about who was started or who is the founder of that, and also later afterwards as Jesus Christ and his early life we learned, and even though we learned about his crucifixion matter also we learned in the last class. And today's class we will move towards the teachings of Jesus Christ. In the last class, I already told in the oral work, and today I will write it on the board. Please note it down in your point taking book. As Jesus Christ he told in his teaching, as the God is one, and He is most merciful. He is most merciful, and He is the creator of entire creation. He is the creator of entire creation, he told. And the second one he told that everyone should develop brotherhood feeling about others. And third one he told, love the people in distress, love the people in distress. It is equal to worshipping of God. It is equal to worshipping of God. Next one he told, one should serve others without expecting anything from them. Without expecting anything from them. And next point he told, serving of others or serving the people is equal to serving the people is equal to worshipping of God. Next he told, if one repent his mistake, then definitely God will forgive him. And the last teaching it was told by him that love the enemy, do good to them, even though he is trying to harm us. So these are the teaching it was told by Jesus Christ. God is one and He is the most merciful one, and He is the creator of entire creation. He is creating entire thing, and also He is showing a mercy to a people, and He is the only one. Names are different, but God is only one. The next one is that everyone should develop with the brotherhood feeling. If you are having or if you follow that brotherhood feeling, there won't be any clashes and there won't be create any problems. Yes or no? So next one is Jesus Christ. And next one is that one should serve others without expecting anything from them. We the people, we are expecting something with others. Even though we are doing a good thing, we are thinking that as it will become back. But we should not be expect anything from them. So like this time we did a good mean, or we did a work here means it will be definitely the serving of people. It is definitely worshipping of God. One is I told, if we are helping or if we allow the people in a distress, that is also equal to a worshipping of God. Next one is that it is a serving the people, also it is equal to worshipping of God here. Next one is that if one repent his mistake. In the last class I told that we had to ask the forgiveness. If we are doing a bad thing, we have to ask that as a forgiveness. Definitely, if it is we did a mistake, we ask the pardon for that, then definitely God will also forgive our mistake. Next one is that is the last one. Love the enemy and do good to them, and also even trying to, if it is they are trying to harm us, then also we have to do a good thing for them. Then definitely back we can get that as a good thing in a return way. So these are important teachings. It was told by Jesus Christ. Now let's move towards our next part. What are they as about the contribution matter? First of all, in the beginning, as a Roman Empire, they are not giving any disturb while a promotion of Christianity. Like this, the teaching part, it was a whole by Jesus Christ, and as it was spread to an entire part or entire place or entire society. But starting or in the beginning, as a Roman Empire, they did not disturb for the promotion of a Christianity. They just left that matter. But afterwards, whenever this preaching matter or about name and fame, it was a gaining, or about publicity, it was a gain for Jesus Christ, that is all over the world. Then afterwards, the Roman Empire people, they started persecuting the missionary people. And even though as a result, it was a resulted for another one thing. What they are doing here means as many obstacles, many problems, it was creating by Roman people here. Now let me learn about the next one. What is the meaning? Whatever the contribution of this which are Christianity. Contribution of what are the changes and what are the important things brought from this Christianity? Contribution of Christianity. Contribution of Christianity. What are the development it was brought here? Let me learn one by one. First one, as a Christianity, it was a broad. Christianity brought noble principles. What are the principles it was brought here means? One is the peace, another one is the peace and brotherhood, feeling to the world. Entire world it was getting that as a noble principle from that Christianity. Second one is that as a church, it was established. You know that when as a who started, and also whatever the problem it was created. In order to bring or in order to bring this one, we require that as a place. So here also they are telling that as the education center established by is wrong. In order to get there as a knowledge regarding the right and wrong matter, they require there as a education. So they decided to give there as education. In order to give education, they require there as a center. So education centers are established by a church and a missionary, and also they played a very significant role for the growth of education here. And the third one is the Christianity. It has introduced Gothic style of architecture. Gothic style of art and architecture, it was a broad part of Christianity. So Christianity has introduced the Gothic style of architecture. And next one is as about here architecture matter, education matter, and now we are learning about the health matter. And who spread this all thing? Let me learn. So here missionaries, they spread the health services. They spread health services all over the world. All over the world. So next one is that women and the weaker section of people, they highly educated or highly benefited by education. So weaker section of people and also even about the women, they got their highly influenced or highly benefited by education. They got their education. Now what it will be bring there as a changes here means when they got their education or highly benefited from education, it was a change or it was a brought there as a changes in the society. It brought changes in society. Now when it was as a changes it was brought in the society, that one only we can call it as a empowerment. So I hope you are understanding about whatever the contributions of Christianity. One is that Christianity brought there as a noble principles. People, they had to follow some of the principles. What are the principles? It was brought by Christianity. It is none other. One is peace, another one is the brotherhood feeling to entire world, to the world here. Next one is the education center. In order to teach people, they require there as a places. So for that reason, as an education center, it was established by a church and missionaries, and also even though they are playing a very significant role for the growth of education. Next one is the Christianity have or they introduced, they brought or they implemented Gothic style of architecture. This style of architecture, it was brought by Christianity. Next one is as a missionaries, they spread the health services all over the world. Means they have to be physically and mentally, they have to be strong people. It's all. For that reason only, in order to preach or in order to learn or in order to do any other work, we require there as a physical and a mental condition. Physical and a mental condition is very important here. So they given importance during that time only. And even about the last one, that is another women and a bigger section of people, they are highly benefited from education. By education means they got the education here. So what happened here means it was a change entire society here. So changes brought in a society, that only we can call it as it is a empowerment. Now let me learn about what are the sects. What are the sects of Christianity? sects of Christianity. As you know that as a Christianity, it was under the control of a Roman Empire till the 16th century. Christianity, it was under the control of Roman Catholic till 16th century. Then afterwards, one by one sect it was came into be started, and then afterwards it was went for a change or brought there as a branches we can consider. So what happened here means, as a Christianity, it was under the control of a Roman Catholic till 16th century, and later afterwards it was a branches of. Later afterwards it was a branches of into various sects. Various sects, and also whenever it was divided or it was brought there as a sect here, so what it was doing here means it was slowly reaching to a common people. It is slowly reach to a common people, because already education they are getting, and also health service also it was giving, means it was spread all over the world. We learn that. So whenever it was divided or branches into or branches off into a various spread, it was slowly lead to a common people. Now they are started to open up their mouth also we can consider. Earlier whatever they are telling, it was listened by people. Now education came, thinking capacity it was improved. Now they started to argue, or now they started to criticize the matter here. So I hope you are understanding. It was a read to a common people. Now as a church, it was dominated here. It was dominated by landlords and also even about the priests. Priests and the landlords, they are dominating this church, because during that period, church was utilizing as a preaching center. Here they are utilizing or they are practicing there as a superstitious practices to a people, and they are telling there as giving there as a confession letter in order to gain the money. That's all we learned in the last year. So I hope you are understanding. During that time was one person he came and he started one more sect also we learned. It is none other than Protestant. I hope almost all are giving answers there only. It is none other than Martin Luther. Martin Luther. When a Christian or a church, as about a priest or about people who are preaching the people, they utilizing there as a confession letter and they are giving to a people. If it is they are purchasing while paying the money, then they are saying or whatever their problem they did, it will be getting there as a part we learned in the last class. And it won't be happen. Whatever we are doing a bad thing, it is a bad only. And we won't get there as any. If it is we are asking a sorry, then also it will be there in our mind. So here they are telling that as a church it was dominated by landlords and also priests, and also even about the people. I told that as the people they started to criticize the matter here. Now I told that as one more important thing. Whenever as about whatever the superstitious practices it was held during that time, it was opposed by people. Starting it was opposed by this person, and also even it was supported by nearly 30% of German people. Germans. Martin Luther from Germany, he was criticized this matter, and it was supported by nearly 30% of Germans. And then afterwards, they started there as one of the sect. It is none other than Protestant. Protestant means the follower of Martin Luther we can call, and later afterwards they made it as another one sect here. So here we are having there as two sects in Christianity. One is the Roman Catholic, another one is that is a Protestant, and even though they are practicing Orthodox also. So I hope you are understanding about how that Christianity we learn in this lesson. About the early part or about the introductory part we learn, and then afterwards we move towards, means it was a cave or it was originated in a place that is a Central Asia we learn, and it was a cave that is after the 1st century CE or a common era we learn. Then afterwards it was founded or it was found by Jesus Christ we learn. About his early life also we learn, where he got a birth and who are his parents, and afterwards how he became as a Messiah in the mind of the people, and then afterwards who was opposed, and also later afterwards how he was crucified, where he was crucified, and who was crucified. That all we learned in our last class. And then afterwards we move towards the teaching part today's class. Again I repeated that one while writing on the board. I hope you are understood that one. And then afterwards we went towards the contribution of Christianity. There also we learned that as it was a reach to all over the world we learned. Then afterwards we learned about the sects of Christianity. It was abroad, how the step by step it was a reach, and as later afterwards it was branches of into various sectors so we learned. So here finally we learned that as a two sects, that is a Roman Catholic and Protestant. So this is about Christianity. Now let's move towards another one topic, that is Islam. Islam. You know that Islam, it was originated in Central Asia we learned, but it was getting a birth in Arabia. Islam, it was originated in Arabia, and also it is a peninsular place or a region we can consider, or a peninsula of West Asia. It is a peninsula of West Asia. What the meaning of a peninsula we learned that as there is a three-side water and one side land. Even how we are having like that only as about this place also. So here Islam, it was originated in Arabia, and also it is a place, it is a peninsula of West Asia, and also even it is a especially we can consider it as it is a desert area. It is a desert area. Can we grow as whatever we are growing here as a food crop? No, because it is not suitable for a cultivation matter. So here as about the desert, it is not suitable for a agriculture matter, because it was not having there as a fertility of a soil, and also abundance, or we require there is a plenty of water in order to grow a crop. So that's what as a people they are starting to searching there as a fertility of a land, and also even a plenty of water. When they are going for a searching, why they are searching, we learn that in order to grow or in order to start agriculture, so they require these two are important. It is none other than fertility of land and also plenty of water. So that's what people they started to search of a land. Finally they got there as a place, that is a Mecca and Medina. Mecca and Medina. These two places they found that in order to grow something. First of all, they are worshipping a god, like a tree or a stream or a stone, like this. Many things they are worshipping as like a god. In order to create something, because we didn't see a god, but also we are creating or we are imagining that like this type god will be there. Names are different, but also as we are calling as God is one here. Earlier also they are worshipping in a different thing we can consider. It is like a tree or a stream or a water, stone, like this. Many things they are worshipping there. But in Mecca, there they are having there as a stone of Kaaba, and also even they are having there as a 360 idols they are having there. So these all it was worshipped by Islam people or Muslims we can consider. These all people they are worshipping them. And here I hope you are understanding where it was originated and what is that or how it will be considered, and how that area, it is a desert area, and also even why they went to searching a place, means in order to get there is a fertility of a land and also plenty of water in order to grow something or in order to start agriculture. Finally they got there as these two places, and in that one place as a Mecca they are having earlier they are worshipping many things. Later afterwards in Mecca they are worshipping stones of Kaaba and also even 360 holy place of Muslims. So now let's go further as who was called as the founder of Islam. It is none other than Muhammad Paigambar. Now let's learn about it one by one. Muhammad Paigambar. Yes. He was we can consider as he is the founder of Islam. Is the founder of Islam. And where he got up birth? He was born at Mecca. He was born at Mecca in the year 570 AD. 570 AD. During that time he got his birth. And also even who are his parents? Abdullah and Amina. Abdullah and Amina were his parents. See, Muhammad Paigambar was considered to be called as the founder of Islam, and also he was born at Mecca in the year 570 AD, and also Abdullah and Amina were his parents, and also even he lost his father and also he lost his mother also in an early age itself. As about few months before his birth, he lost his father, and also at the age of 6, he lost his mother also. Now he was not having a parent, so he was then afterwards he was looked after by his uncle, and his uncle was originally we can call him as a trader. He was looked after by his uncle. He was a trader, and even though as a person he has to go for a long distances in order to trade things. In order to buying and selling activities, it will be done in that place, and in order to go or in order to do that one, he has to go for a long distances. While going for a long distances, he was taking there as a company of Muhammad Paigambar. As about a person, he was giving his company to his uncle. But later afterwards, he was joined rich widow women. Rich widow women. Khadija. Khadija. As a person, I told her as he lost his parent at the early age, before 6 years or at the age of 6, he lost his parent, and afterwards he was looked after by his uncle. His uncle was originally was a trader, and as a person, he has to go for a long distances. He was taking Muhammad's company in order to go for a long distances, and whenever he was doing a work, and later afterwards he changed that work method. He was working under a rich widow woman. Her name is Khadija, and later afterwards he was married her, and even though they are having there as 2 sons and 4 daughters, they are having them. And originally as about Muhammad Paigambar, he was having a habit. What he was having habit means that he is meditating and also prosecuting himself. Means he himself was getting there as a knowledge regarding some other matter. And originally he was having a habit of persecuting and also even about another one, that is meditating. That is, he was meditating in a cave of Mecca, and in that place, that is in that place, whenever he was doing a meditation, one day he heard a voice of an angel. He was heard a voice. He was heard a voice of an angel by telling her as he was a prophet of Allah. He was a prophet of Allah. See, just now I told that as he was having a habit of meditating there for many hours, or about he was meditating for a long period, and whenever he was doing, and it was especially was doing in a cave, whenever he was doing that, he heard a voice. It was came from an angel, and what she told by telling that as he was a prophet of Allah, he is a follower of Allah, or he was a companion of Allah, we can consider. When it was heard by him, he was he told with his family member and the relatives and also friends, and he was told that matter that it was getting from that angel. But also they are not listening. If it is be told that one means nobody will listen or nobody will believe that one. And later afterwards he was making them to understand that one, and afterwards after that he started to preaching the people and his own philosophy, his own thing or his own thinking capacity, whatever he was having, everything it was told for a people. So afterwards he started to utilize his entire life in order to preach or in order to teach some other good gospel we can consider, or good news we can consider. Gospel means it is none other than it is a good news, that is a divine gospel we can consider. Divine gospel. Later afterwards he was utilized, he was convinced his friends, relatives and also relatives about whatever he heard it from that an angel. But also it was not, if it is we suddenly told this, nobody will believe. So he later afterwards he was convinced them, and afterwards he was utilizing his entire life in order to preach there as a divine gospel. And what it was read to people means, whenever he was told some other word, it was a read to a common or a ordinary people. They started to note down or they started to write those points in a book. That book only it was came to be called as Quran. His followers, they started to note down whatever he was telling, and that all it was not repeating them, and whatever he told, the entire point it was writing in one book. Later part, that book only it was came to be called as it is a holy book, that is another, it is the Quran. So I hope you are understanding about whatever the matter regarding Muhammad Paigambar. And even though another most important thing, as a person he was having a followers, and as a successor of Muhammad Paigambar, they are came to be called as a Khalid. And in that many other people are there as followers or successor of Muhammad Paigambar, and among that one important is, that is Abu Bakr. In the last class we learned that as what Christianity or follower of Jesus Christ they have came to be called. They came to be called as apostles. We learned in that one among the important among them in first we learned that as a Saint Peter, and here also we are learning follower or a successor of Muhammad Paigambar who called as a Khalid. Among that one is important, he was none other Abu Bakr. So I hope you are understanding about this one. Now he was utilizing his entire life in order to preach. But whenever he was started to preach, it was opposed, means it was getting there as a name and fame, and he was became as a popular and popular all over the places, and it was giving a jealous to other people. So let's learn about one by one that matter now. As here we were learning that as the Orthodox community people, we learned that as it is one of the sect of Christianity. So as an Orthodox community, they opposed this one. For that reason only, Muhammad Paigambar, he was travelled from till now he was there in the Mecca. Now he was travelled from Mecca to Medina. That is in the year 622. And that incident only it was came to be called as it is a Hijrah. Or a departure we can consider. Or a departure we can consider. So I hope you are understanding. When Orthodox community people they started to oppose this one, he started to move towards other places. He travelled from Mecca to Medina in the year 622, and that incident only we were calling it hijrah or a departure. And even he was staying or he was settled for 8 years, Mecca to Medina. And now he was there in Medina, and nearly 8 years he was stayed there. And after settled for 8 years, one war it was came between Mecca and Medina. Medina people they quarreled against with the Mecca people. Now at that time, in order to stop that matter, Muhammad Payghambar he went back to Mecca. And later afterwards, after 10 years, that is in 632. He breathed his last or he ended his life, we can consider. This is about Muhammad Payghambar, and in the next class we are learning about a teaching matter and afterwards a contribution and what are the reasons behind for the growth of Islam and even a fact we are learning in the next class. Till then, take care.